really happen for the most part. So we can't, as Tom says, move things around and say inspired by a true story. Things are. Shamil brought this up as well.
You can keep it a true story if you just simply compress some time frame and expand other time frames. So compress a whole shit ton of the time between when she goes into sex slave and loses her and her baby gets taken away from her, and you're able to have the majority of the movie about her seeking her baby.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume that every aspect of this script in real time took more than 2 hours to happen. So you have plenty of time to make a movie out of what happened. So simply by compressing certain time frames and manipulating time that way and you don't even have to take out the truth, you can at least focus the film and get it there. So you said that there's all this backstory. She came to America because she had been, in trouble.
So that is it's on a dialogue with Montezuma. He tells her that he was kind of a revenge that she's there.
But what I'm saying, simply put, is that you want to have...
Go ahead, Shabelle, sorry.
And I think exactly what Tom asked you just a second ago, and he said, why did they leave Mexico? And you answered, and you just said it's in the dialogue. That's the thing, is that if it's in the dialogue, we never see the bad world that they had to leave. So in a sense that we are assuming that it's a bad world because we think they're coming from Mexico, it must be a bad world. The idea is to show that it was a bad world, and by the time they get to the middle of this thing, it's even a worse world for them. So what Tom is, saying, and what I like to see is show them in a bad world, this is a worse world, and then the story begins to take the rightful shape of a structure. Because in dialogue, it doesn't mean anything. Movies are about watching people go through that, and this is where, at the very beginning, my assumption about a Mexican leaving, maybe it's about money, maybe it's about education, it could be many things, but if you don't nail it down by one word that you show, it's exactly the question Tom is asking, why?
Let me just suggest one thing, you guys. What if the film went along this transition, this thing? Maria Luana ends up in slavery, and Maria Luana, you open with Maria Luana in slavery, okay? And what if the inciting incident is simply that she loses her baby? Or what if your first plot point is what if your first plot point is Maria losing her baby? Your first act is she gets in slavery, she loses her baby at your first plot point, she escapes from slavery around, page 45 to 50, she meets up with Abe around the midpoint of the movie, which, alters her direction and gives her an in to find her baby. And then around 15, 20 pages after that, she has a big conference. They figure out where her baby is, and then from there it's their mission to go get the baby. Wouldn't that be a pretty clear arc for your A story? I mean, it's kind of what you have. It's just compressing it, saying she ended in slavery.
Yeah, one piece. It's interesting that this comment came up because before we actually did have some backstory in Mexico. And the reason we got rid of it was there's been so many movies about border crossings and immigration, and we didn't want it to be about that. We wanted it to be about slavery. So we have to, and we didn't want to do cheesy flashbacks either. But when it comes up a little bit in the dialogue, she tells Abe when he's, interviewing her on his porch.
I have already an idea for that.
Yeah. The nature of the story.
Because the moment when Montezuma meets her, the moment that, when she comes, she says she already paid the money to you, Montezuma can explain right in front of her why she's there.
Plus, I think,
Well, you're going to pay the debt of your husband. That's why you're here. It's revenge.
Okay.
Actually, because the truth is, while she's there, she's very well educated.
So at that initial rape scene,
he put her in the trap.
The story is like this. The very beginning of the story.
It's a revenge. The husband. Oh, I'm sorry.
The very beginning of the story should be on stable ground. The inciting incident knocks the protagonist off of stable ground, and the rest of the story is about him getting back to stable ground. That's it. You're on level, get knocked off, and the rest of the movie is about him getting back up. This is what this movie is about. So if she's at the very beginning, she's stable. I mean, what if it's simply something like, you just show her living, it's a little different, but, she could just be living her life in America. Or she could be in Mexico, and she could be going through life, and you show the redundancy of her life. Show she's happy, she's pregnant, she's got her daughter. And then you show her get kidnapped. And it's a little bit more jarring. It's a little bit less realistic in terms of what happened, but it's more jarring. It shows that, everything she has has suddenly been lost. And they kill her daughter right away if you want to do that. That's, keep that in. It's really sad. It's horrible.
I'm going to kill the gasoline scene. Are you kidding me?
But I'm saying.
The line because that's the truth. I mean, I'm
You
not
gotta-
for the truth.
If she's already on the run from the police, and then she ends up in slavery, it's like, you're hitting the ground running with the screenplay, but it's like, well, where is she going? Like, she's on the run from the police, does she have to escape the federales? Does she have to escape her kidnappers? Does she have to find her baby? There's so much happening, and you can just take you guys through everything you possibly could at the script, and you hit a ton of amazing potential sources of conflict, and now we just kind of got to sift and pluck some of the stuff out that it's just distracting from the central.
Because it's about 20 pages too long
You know,
anyway.
I just have to say this, it's like, it doesn't really pertain to your script, but I think of the horrible, the scariest scene I've ever seen almost in a film was in Training Day with Denzel Washington, when Ethan Hawke innocently goes to this house and he gets into the bathtub, and Cliff Curtis has him pinned down by a gun. And it was do you remember that?
Yeah, that's a great moment.
That was like so outstandingly scary. They had one in Crash too.
Well, that's a great moment, and it's a threat that has
Something
played.
But we want it to be true. You have to. That's what that director. I hope we can get that director.
That's a great
You
threat.
don't have to have that, but something so terrifying. You can't forget it.
Yeah.
You know, I want that.
I thought that's what the gasoline scene was. I thought that was pretty terrifying.
Yeah, that.
Are you kidding me? What, you don't know in that situation. You don't want to be in that situation. You'll have a gun and you'll shoot yourself in the head.
Unless you start the whole movie where
This here would make me shoot myself in the head.
you could
I've been in that place. I know.
you could start the whole movie from inside the motel when they've got the paper on the windows and they're coming out to be put in the lineup. She's already
Yeah, there's a lot of
there, and then all right to the gasoline
that's the whole
scene.
thing to me, is the drama of this situation. The horrible,
There goes your
horrible
expectations right
things
there.
that go on, and this goes on.
And just to clarify, if you have this character, just saying, if you open with her, she's kidnapped, and if when they kill her daughter, her older daughter, her entire being from that point onward is clearly devoted to preserving the one living child.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So that kind of is the moment that kicks this whole story into gear. It's about her getting her daughter back. It's about her preserving her daughter, saving her daughter.
The maternal
So if you-
instinct is the strongest
I
instinct.
think what you should do is, you open with her either already kidnapped, I think you open with her already a sex slave, you're inciting it, and it's stable ground, but it's uncomfortable stable ground. She's already a sex slave, but her daughters are alive, she's pregnant, nothing has gone wrong yet within that. So you can either open with her getting put into it, but quickly, she's there. Then you have her daughter get killed between, in the early going, somewhere between, page 7 and page 6 and 12. Then it becomes clear that from then on, she's lost one daughter. Now her focus can shift entirely in towards preserving this baby that's in her. And then, of course, if you have the child, getting born and they take the baby away towards the end of the first act, now that changes her whole thing. She now no longer even has this baby. And now she must actually go forward and get the baby back.
Yeah.
And then she escapes from this, then she has, then from pages, let's say 27 through 44, 45, 46, you have her journey to escape so she can get her baby back. And she manipulates Philip, and she eventually escapes. And then she gets out. And by having a parallel narrative going with, parallel through line going with Abe, you can bring them towards a convergence that happens about 10 pages after she escapes. And then once they converge, once she gets out, she's not going to know how to get her baby back. Abe knows how to find her baby, but he has the means to find her baby, but he doesn't know where to look. She knows, or whatever. Together, they're able to do this, they're able to actually do this together, and you can push all the way through to the end of the narrative.